video will demonstrate how to play slides. Now, there are a couple different slides to be played on guitar. There's one that is just a regular slide. It's kind of like picking the 3, slide up to 10 and pick there. That's not what we're going to be looking at on this video. We're going to look at legato slides, which is more common. Typically the slides I just showed involve like a guitarist maybe like playing a chord and just kind of sliding up and down that way. A lot of times the intent is not to make that slide happen. It's just something that does happen in the sound because the guitarist is just holding the strings as they move from one chord to the next or one note to the next. So legato slide, as you see on the example up now, it will have the slur mark that we talked about in previous videos on how to hammer on and how to pull off. Now, we will be using hammer-ons and pull-offs in this video on the second exercise. So if you have not learned how to do hammer-ons or pull-offs properly, please click on the annotations up now on YouTube to be taken to one of those videos. So this example, going from 5 to 7, we have a slur mark again. So just like previous videos, saying that the slur mark tells you to pick the first note but not the next one is still true here. The diagonal line going up from 5 to 7 is telling you to slide from 5 to 7. So what we do is pick the 5 and slide the finger up to the 7. Now, it's very important to keep the pressure down on the string the entire time you're sliding. This continues the vibration of the string as you go from note to note. If you don't keep the vibration going, if you don't have the pressure on the string, this is what's going to happen. The note will stop. And most likely, if you are having a hard time hearing the note that you're trying to slide to, make sure that you have enough pressure on the string. If you feel like you're really gripping it really hard, make sure that the volume on your guitar is fully turned up and make adjustments on the amp volume instead. I think it's very important to have the volume on the guitar up all the time, especially when learning, because it does help in picking up the vibrations of the strings. So later, when you get more advanced, you definitely can change the volume on your pickups, or basically the volume on your guitar, and to create new sounds. But for now, I think it's very important to have the volume on the guitar all the way up. This will make playing things like slides much easier. So, let's go through our example. So start, you can use any finger really to begin this exercise. I'm going to start with my index. So you hold down the 5 on the high E, we pick that, slide up to 7. Now we pick the 7 we just slid up to, and we slide back down to 5. Notice how the diagonal line going from 7 to 5 is going at a downward angle as opposed to the beginning, how it went up. So the next bar has pick the 5, slide up to 7, and then back down to 5. So you're only picking that first note. So we go pick, slide, slide. Now most people have a more difficult time sliding down the fretboard. So again, just do your best to keep the pressure on the string as you go. When you're doing a pick, slide, slide, it becomes more difficult and much more important to have that pressure down. So the last bar will have us starting on 7. Pick that, slide down to 5, slide back up to 7. So pick, slide, slide. You are more than welcome to stick with one part of this exercise. Do it as many times as you need to until you feel comfortable. So what you could do is just start by picking the 5, slide to 7. Do that until you feel comfortable. Then work on picking the 7, sliding to 5. And then you can work on the next part where you're going pick the 5, slide up to 7, slide down to 5. And then you can do the last one as many times as you need. Just pick the 7, slide down to 5, and slide back up to 7. And then you can put all of them together when you're ready. For those of you that found this video through the ebook put out, the free beginning guitar players ebook, hopefully you went through one example at a time so far and have built up all the exercises to set you up for this last one here. It's another legato exercise, and you're going to be doing hammer-ons, pull-offs, and slides together. So if you still have not learned hammer-ons and pull-offs, I invite you to click on the annotations up on YouTube and learn what the hammer-on and pull-off are so you can play this next example. So for those of you who are learning through the free beginning guitar player ebook, this is simply building on everything we've done so far. So this bar is starting off index finger on the 7th fret of the high E string, and we're going to pick the 7, hammer to 8, pull off to 7, slide to 5, slide to 7. So pick the 7, hammer on to 8, pull right off to 7, slide to 5, slide back up to 7. It is fairly difficult to continue to have the volume going when playing this one at a slow pace, because the sliding is kind of tough to keep that noise, keep the note going if you take too long between notes. So, here we go. Pick, hammer, pull, slide, slide. So, we are going to now jump to the B string, first finger on 5, and then we pick the 5, hammer to 6, slide up to 8. Now you see I took both fingers with me. This is important because it will set you up for the next part. So again, second bar, we pick the 5, hammer to 6, slide up to 8 with both fingers coming, and then we slide back down to 6, and now we pull back off to the 5. That's why we slide up and back down with both fingers, so this way you are set up to pull off to the 5 at the end. So we are only picking 2 times in this example. We pick the first note of the first bar, and we pick the first note of the second bar. So again, we have pick, hammer, pull, slide, slide, pick, hammer, slide, slide, pull. The entire exercise now. If you have any questions about this video or anything pertaining to music, please send me an email and I'm more than happy to get back to you. Thank you for watching.